15.
Hello and welcome. Hope everyone is safe. My name is Artero, and on behalf of Artero, I would like to thank you very much to join us today with the Artero World Team. And today is a special day. Today is Mother's Day. So congratulations to all the moms that will be here watching us. Remember that today with the Artero World Team, you can make your questions in Facebook and in YouTube. So we will answer, well, not me, so they will answer. And today we had Pai, Anna, Kingsley, Roman, but we had some technical problems with Roman, so we will change the one of the members, and I would like now to introduce everybody. So welcome, Artero World Team. From Taiwan, we have Pai ChiaTai. Hello, Pai ChiaTai. How are you?
Hello. Hi, I'm fine. I'm Pai from Taiwan. I hope everyone is safe. Is safe in Taiwan now. And today is Mother's Day. I'm glad all the mothers around the world Happy Mother's Day. And I'm so proud of one of the speakers of Artero. Today, I will introduce the cosmetics of Artero and share my dog shows experience. Welcome everybody. Ask questions about everything, but by simple English, please, because I'm poor English. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Pai. You are going to do it perfect. No worries. So we have as well Miss Bardysheva from Russia. How are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm fine, thanks. In Russia, we not celebrate the Mother Day today. We will have our Mother Day after tomorrow. But for all around the world mothers, I would like to say great thanks. And today, now I'm in Moscow. We also have a quarantine until June. So I'm a groomer. I have my school, and also I work with the dogs, as well with the grooming competitions. I'm a great competitor. So today I will talk about cosmetic, and I will also talk about grooming competition. So if you have interesting questions, you can ask, and I will be glad to share my experience with you. Thanks.
Thank you, Anna. It will be very interesting for sure. So in Singapore, we have another member of the Artero World Team. Welcome, Kingsley Tan. How are you?
Hello everybody. Yes, my name is Kingsley. I'm from Singapore. I'm also a certified master groomer and grooming judge with the Singapore Kennel Club, and also a member of a pet industry union in Singapore. Till date, I have about 20 years of grooming experience, and currently I'm running 6 grooming salons and also a grooming school in Singapore. And up to date, we probably have graduated about 250 students, and we hope to pass on more experience to aspiring groomers. I also have an interest in dog shows. I have experience showing in Bichons, toy poodles, and miniature schnauzers. I'm very happy to be here today to be able to share my knowledge and views with all aspiring groomers, pet owners, and anyone that's interested to come and chat with us. Please come on. And I'm very happy and honored to be invited by Artero to share my knowledge with each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kingsley. It's going to be interesting as well, your viewpoint about business. Okay, so as I told you, we had some problems, technical problems with Roman in Russia. So at the last minute, we found another poodle lover. His name is Luis Martin del Rio from Spain. How are you?
Hello, how are you? I'm Luis Martin del Rio. Really, I don't hate poodles. My special, it's another way, but I don't hate them. I'm from Spain, and I'm a groomer. Also, I teach seminars around the world, and I have my own kennel. The name is Tajinastas, and I breed miniature Schnauzer and Brussels Griffon. I dedicate all my life around the dogs and the shows and competition, because my parents was breeder and groomers before I was born. For this one, I'm really connecting with this world. I hope to answer and share my knowledge with all of you about the competition and dog shows. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Luis, and welcome. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have as well Lulu Rodriguez in Florida.
Hi.
How are
Good
you?
afternoon, everyone. Good morning. We're depending on what country and where you're at.
So Lulu will help. Can you explain a little bit? What are you doing there as well, please?
Absolutely. Okay. I am with Artero. I am proud to represent the Artero USA delegation. So I am currently in the USA. It is very early where I am. It is 6 a.m. Okay, but we are having a great day. So I expect that this will be a great session, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
It will be perfect. Thank you very much for your help, Lulu. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we can start now with some questions that already arrived. So we have here, what products are your favorite in the salon? Which products gives you better profit? I don't know how to say that question.
Profitability.
Okay, thank you
What
very much,
makes you
Lulu.
the most money?
Exactly. That's a complicated word. Okay, so what do you think about that, Kingsley?
How to make more money?
Yeah, which products? Yeah, no, which products help to
I
you
think
To save time, probably, no, right?
Okay. First of all, I think we have to learn to be good groomers and be really good at what you're doing. You know, learn from your mentor, learn from your friends or your grooming friends, and try to improve your skills. And of course, in a grooming salon setup, there are many different kind of services. We call it full grooming or basic grooming. So basically, basic grooming will include the nails, ears, shower, shaving the paw pads and sanitary area, and then the full grooming will include the styling and clipping on top of the basic grooming. Well, there are additional services you can do. For example, you can do like spa services for them, brush the teeth, do a coat treatment, where Artero offers a variety of good shampoo and conditioner. You can use that to offer the services to your customers. Yeah, so basically, and also have good customer service, very good customer service, and make your customer loves you very much.
Always, that's important. Okay, and now just a thing. Normally, Luis, all of you always were traveling around, but Anna, Bardysheva, and Luis, you were traveling quite a lot during this last year. So what do you think now? You are not able to go in another countries. Are you missing this part of your working day? What do you think, Anna?
Yes. Look, something for me, it's I cannot cancel my traveling, so I'm happy because the situation is canceled everything. So now I have little bit time for relax, because I don't remember when I had my last vacation. It probably was 10 years ago. So now my husband and my dogs are really happy about me because I'm at home and I give a lot of attention to them. Right.
Probably your dogs look at you and don't understand nothing. Why she keep here? But yes, it's a really strange situation for us because, our life, we live during Sundays here at home and a few days wherever, no, around the world. And it's true that it's a little bit strange, and we need adapted. I need adapted to this life, and try to dedicate and to focus my time in doing another things. In my case, I'm happy because, of course, I share my time as Anna with my couple. And also, we are building the new kennel, and I'm focusing working in this. No, and this is my purpose in this time. But this is the thing and the time that we need to live now. And I think the good thing is that everybody can understand that we cancel our seminars because this is a problem, a global problem, no? Because it's very bad if this problem is only for Anna, for me, and all our students don't understand the situation. And this is really the good thing about it.
That's true. All the situations, all the new situations teach us to do a new thing. So now everybody is trying to find a new things, a new space, and that's important. We need to be adapted, and that's all. Okay, so Pai, what do you remember when you were judging? When you were competing some years ago, and now you are judging? Do you miss more competing?
My judging?
Yeah.
My judging competition or the dog show? Dog show?
Before, when you were competing and now you are judging, what do you prefer? Judging or competing?
When I judging in Asian competition, like Korea, China, Singapore, the Malaysia, I feel it's very different for the Europe and for Asian. For Europe, the style and the tripping is more, the skills is more stronger than Asian. But the scissoring is more better than Asian's scissoring is more better than Europe. So I feel it is very important for between us to Europe to strong the scissoring skills, and for the Asian students is more important for strong the stripping skills. So it can conversation. It can the Europe teachers can come Asian to teach the tripping skills, and the Asian teachers can come to Europe to teach the scissoring skills. I feel it's very important. It's very different. And now the FCI will build the groomer club. And well, it is the key. We can do the grooming skills more stronger and stronger together. And when I go to judge the dog show, I feel it's very different between every country. Like in Japan or in Korea or in Taiwan, is group 9. Group 9 is the poodle, the Maltese is more stronger. But like other countries, like I go to the Philippines, or I go to the Vietnam or the Indian, working group is more stronger. It's very, very different. So it's very interesting. When I judge the around the world, I can see different stronger group.
That's good. And sometimes we can see in Facebook on some images about the certifications that you do there in Asia, about, I don't know how many dogs there in a table for the certification. Can you explain about how you organize all this judging? Because maybe you are a lot of people there judging all these dogs. So I don't know, Kingsley, what do you think? It's amazing to see all these tables with all the dogs ready for the certification. Kingsley, are you there?
白老师刚才是问说，你们亚洲的宠物美容是怎么举办的？因为他看到几百个桌子，那个场面很大，所以你们是怎么办那个美容宠物的
？In Taiwan, 1 year we have 2 times for competition, for grooming competition. So it's all people go to one venue to enter the competition. So it's a lot of people. But in Korea, it is more than Taiwan. But they about 3 months, once times 3 months have competition, and they have about 600 to 700 students entering.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes, it's amazing. Yes.
How many judges?
6 to 7. About I think 30 to 40 judges. Yes.
Wow.
It's big. It's a big competition. Yes. All the schools, all the students entering together.
Wow.
In Taiwan, in Korea, but in Japan is different. Japan or China is different. China is because China is a big area, so they have 4 to 5 space. So they also have a lot of students entering, but every competition about 100 to 200 students. But in Japan is schools competition. So judges, the JKC's judges go to every school to judge the school's competition.
That's interesting.
So it's different. It's different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one day in Europe will be maybe the same one day in US. Okay, so remember that you can make your questions on Facebook and YouTube, and we will answer all them. So please write to who you want to do the question, and we will select and we will ask here in the channel. Okay, so now it's a question for Luis. Okay, Luis, how do you bath the dogs with lots of nuts? What is your secret? I think it's a problem that everybody will.
Now, after the quarantine, we will have a lot of problem with this. Mm-hmm. Really, usually I prefer dematting the dogs with a cold wet. For this one, I prefer bath the dog before and using the shampoo for cleaning the coat with the mats, okay, directly to the bath. And when I clean it, I use the conditioner. I prefer always use one conditioner like Protein, because it's really silky, and the brush after using slide really good for the mats. And my work is the first I'm shampooing, I'm rinse, I use the Protein, also wait some minutes, rinse too. I dry with a towel, and after I use one conditioner in a spray, some Matex or mix, wherever. I spray him and I start to brush him. For me, it's a very good way because I can see the mats really easy, and the slicker slide really good, and I can open the mat from the base and start to open all mats really fast and don't damage too much the skin. Also for me, it's very important, not only the cosmetic, the slicker that we use for the matting is very important. Always try to use the really strong pins and no flexible pins, because we need to open this mat, okay? We need a powerful. We use the one slicker, flexible, more when you want to strain the coat, not for the matting. This is my way. I don't know if Anna or Kingsley have another system, because every groomer have a different ways.
I love the flexi brush. It's one of my favorite tool to
also for the matting dogs.
Yeah, I love using that together with the Mat X. Mat X together with the flexi. It probably cut my dematting time into half. So it's my favorite product to demat the dog.
A good combination.
How about Anna?
Okay, for me, it's I feel that it's a little bit different because of also about the clients. We have in Russia a really strange situation because of the weather. Normally, all the clients would like to get the long coat dog at the end. So it doesn't want to shaving nothing. So sometimes I need to work with a huge level of mats. It's already looks like it's title, you know, full of the mat. So in this case, I prefer to use, actually, I don't like flexible cord as well also. So I prefer to use more straight cord, just a simple one, the most popular, slicker. And first of all, if the dog is really matted, at the first step, I use the protein, I put it a little bit with the water and I put it on the coat and I brush before I go to wash my dog. So in this case, I can open the coat, because if you try to wash your dog with a lot of mats, then it will be worse.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to open coat to be able to wash it well. And also I use good, for me, it's quite soft basic shampoo I use as the first one. And second one, it depends on the breed, because we have in Russia multi-breed. We are a multi-breed country. You know, I was in China, I was in Malaysia, I was in Korea, I was in Japan, and I saw a huge difference, because normally in those countries you have quite like 5, maybe 10 most popular breeds. But in Russia, it's the same day. In the morning, it can be Spaniel. Second one can be Kerry Blue. Next one can be Poodle. Then it can be Newfoundland. Then it can be Airedale Terrier. And we have, in my school, for example, in my teaching program, we have more than 60 breeds. Wow. Because it's normal, it's typical, and it's popular breeds. And we have small and big with different code. So I use more straight cord flicker as the most useful for all breeds, not only for one type of the coat or for one way to use it. So if the dog is not really matted before I go to wash, I will not touch this coat. But as well, I also use a little bit protein and put it little bit on the coat. I will explain you why, because in Russia we have quite hard water. So depend on the water, you must also use the cosmetic different way. So because coat is really in our atmosphere, it's dry atmosphere and hard water. At the end, we need to little bit help or give the help for the coat with a good moisturizing effect. So this is why I sometimes use something moisturizing before I go to wash. Okay, then I use double shampoo, and depend of the coat and depend of what I would like to do with this coat, I use conditioner or not. And also I really like keratin as help for really dry coat, sorry. So this is my way. And of course I have special technique how we use the flicker. we brush our dogs. It's really important because normally we work with, sometimes we work with a lot of mats, and it's really important to use it right way to not hurt the skin. This is why flexible sometimes can little bit hurt the skin when you brush a matted dog. Okay, when it's no mats, it's okay. Flexible can be really nice because your hand will feel more comfortable. But if you have mats, you need to use your hand straight, because if you do like this will be hurt. This is why for straight I use more like a stripping technique when I brush my dogs. In this case, it's more safe for the skin, and this case is more safe for my hand. Because if you live in Russia and you have huge Newfoundland with a lot of mats like this, one day, 10 days out, because your hand will be really hurt. So this is specific of, I believe, a lot of Europe countries.
Thank you, Anna. Always is different in each place. That's fine. But, okay, we have a question now for Pai and Kingsley. I'm used to competing in Europe, but I would love to compete in Asia. What advice do you have for me? What are the differences between Europe and Asia when you are competing? What do you think?
Maybe Miss Pai can go first.
Yes. You mean the USA and the Asian? What's different?
Yes, or Europe exactly.
他是在欧洲grooming competition, right? Not dog show.
Right.
I do. Grooming competition.
They don't say that. I'm competing. I think will be grooming competition. Yeah.
他是说他是在欧洲比那个宠物美容，然后如果他想去亚洲比宠物美容的话，那个过程是要走那样的过程。
Oh, because it's very different. So if you come to Asian, you just can enter the competition. Now because in Asian, students have license. We must enter the examination for the grooming license. So for Asian, we have C license. The basic is C license. And when you strong your skills, you can enter the examination for the B license. Then after you learn the show clip grooming, you can enter the A examination for the A license. So it's a long time, and is must stage to stage. So for if you have the skills, the stripping skills, you can enter the competition for just stripping. But if you want enter the examination, got the grooming license, you must from C, and you must skill the scissoring skills, because for Asian groomers, the scissoring is very important. Why? Because all the pet shop, we have always scissoring, like Maltese, like poodles, like Pom, all scissoring, not stripping. But as I know, in Europe, always stripping, no scissoring. So it's very different. So if you want entering the Asian competition, you must skill your scissoring first, and entering the examination. Then you can get the pet shop's work. You can make money. Yeah.
And what do you think, Kingsley?
Yeah, just to add on to what Miss Pai had mentioned earlier on, So Asian grooming competition and European grooming competition are very different. In Asia, it's more like a certificate, and we have C, B, A, and then you go on to masterclass. But in Europe and America, it's more of a competition. So it's a little bit different. And also, we don't categorize between scissoring, stripping, or non-sporting breed. The stripping, scissoring, or non-sporting breed will be all into one class, which is C class.
Oh, wow.
And then if you pass your C, you move on to B class. And then for your A class and master class, you have to do show clip. So for C and B, you can do a lamb clip, for example. Yeah, do a poodle lamb clip.
Yes.
And then for A and master, you will have to do a show clip. Yeah. Then depending on which country you and the interesting about Asia is we recognize each other's certificate. So for example, if I have a C in Singapore, I can go to Taiwan to participate in their B. And then I can go to Korea to participate in their A. So we kind of recognize each other's certificate. Yeah, okay. So this one thing interesting about what we have in Asia.
But Kingsley, sorry, if a groomer from Europe or from US want to compete in Asia, is it possible?
Yes, it's possible, but they have to start from C.
Okay.
And if they're going to if they're going to do stripping, they have very good chance of winning because in Asia we don't have no competitors. And
you can enter the competition. Yeah, you can enter the competition. Like Korea, you can just enter the competition. Then you can get A class.
In Korea,
even the master class. Yes, in Korea.
Yeah, in Korea.
But it's impossible in Singapore and in Taiwan.
In Korea you can
yes, in Japan, in Taiwan, even in China, in Singapore, the same. You must from C. So even you have good stripping skills, you must from C class, the best class.
Yeah, and then master, you have to do minimum 2 breeds. One scissoring breed with stripping or scissoring breed with a non-sporting breed.
Yes.
For the master class.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do stripping here in Asia, I'm sure you're gonna do very well. So enjoy.
We need to go one day. Okay, we have a question now for Anna. Thank you very much, and Miss Pai.
I was never compete in Asian competitions, but I also judge some competitions. So for me, the huge difference. First of all, that you must get start from level C. So you must do poodle with a lamp clip. Secondary, after some distance, it can be few months, you're able to go to level B. So level B, it's already pet grooming. You can choose little bit more, but it's still scissoring. So you must take a poodle or bichon, but you should to make a pet grooming. Most of them use the poodles. So only level A, it's already the highest one. After few months, you go to level A, and then you can take already show dogs. For me, also secondary different. It's you have only 2 hours for no matter the dog. Okay, you have standard poodle, 2 hours. You have a toy poodle, 2 hours.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
And the judge must make a decision who use this time correctly. Because when I saw first time standard poodle, and he was totally not finishing, and he take a placement, and I said, what's wrong with this poodle? Why he take a placement? I saw a beautiful toy poodles, brilliant finishing, and they said, yes, but he have 2 hours. And the judge reminded. Okay, so you will have 2 hours for American Cocker Spaniel as well also. And this is why you must be ready for that. Okay, for master class, you must be already teacher level, and you should do 2 dogs. So it's also a little bit different. And also, in Asia, it's a lot of grooming competing in one time together. So it's a huge stress. So if you scare a little bit that you will have 100, 200 competitors in your class, maybe you should little bit training yourself more, okay, and then you go to Asia. But you need to traveling few times, at least 3 times. And depend of the country, you must to check the level you can take as first one. Because this is a different one for me, huge one.
Thank you, Anna. Luis, we have another question.
It's curious because now I understand why. Because I'm organized the Artero Grooming Slam in Barcelona, and we are really lucky because many Asian groomers come in to compete here, and always they ask us about the rental dogs for use the models because they cannot fly with their own models. And when I offer them standard poodles, always they say not standard, not. It's like they're really if they think, but if they thinking that they only have the same time for a toy poodle, of course they prefer rent a toy poodle.
Yes.
And now I understand that. Next year, I will, or this year for the grooming slam, I explain them that they will have more time to do this.
You should.
And you must let them know that you are allowed to shave the face and the feet first, because in Asia we don't shave the face and the feet.
Okay, I didn't know that. I will teach them. Okay.
Also, for me, it's different tools. For example, in Asia, they not really like to use the chunkers. In some association, you even not allowed to use the chunkers.
Yeah.
You need to use only straight or curved scissors. That's all.
No chunkers.
For some breeds, you can use the thinner scissors, but it's all you can use.
But I think this is because the same that Pai and Kingsley told is they thinking more about the competition like a student, like a certification, than contest. And probably they think that straight blade scissor, it's more like a
more of a skill.
Yes.
It's like chunkers help us to go fast and to working, and they need using the right, like a certificate.
To be honest, I feel whatever make it right, as long the outcome is the same, you should be able to make use of the tools to make your grooming better. That's my own personal thinking.
Okay. We have a question now for Luis as well. What would you recommend for preparing a schnauzer for a competition?
To all package.
It will be so long.
Or maybe if you can concentrate.
It's curious because now I start to judging with EGA and some countries, and I start to see also from the different view the contest and the grooming. No, but when I compete and like a competitor, I think the most important always is have a good model. It's like if you don't have a good mannequin, it's really difficult you have a good result. And I know that everybody thinking that, of course, the work of the groomer is really important, but always the structure help us to the finishing, showing and looking better. And it's a help. Yes or yes is a help. I think that, no. And another thing is really important, not only for the schnauzer, for a stripping, any stripping model, calculate perfect the layers of the coat, because if you don't have layers under ready for you working and have a new jacket under, this is you can't do the stripping competition. Okay, for this one is very important the preparation in the layers of the jacket. Okay, I recommend you and I train my students to work in between 8 to 10 weeks and have 2 layers. Okay, 2 different sizes and working like that. It's too easy, too fast, and really good to adapt it for the contest. And after you're working in the legs, in the scissor, it's more like your talent as a scissor, and this is, if you prefer more European, more Asian, more American, you have different ways to working your grooming. It's true, when I judge now, I don't like when the people use a lot of powder and cream in the in the legs, because it's really difficult. You comb these legs. I respect when you use a cosmetic, but it's important always try to check the grooming after. Sometimes in some countries use a lot of chalk and you can't. And when you comb these hairs, the grooming change a lot, because it's really sticky and the grip, it's really is extreme, and you really discontrol the grooming, and it's bad something when I do. For this one, always I recommend you that working really clean, using cosmetic, using drying and bathing and doing really good, but try to always working thinking that after I will come, the judges will come the job. Okay, it's very, very important. But I think it's the model, the preparation of the layers, and try to don't use a lot of cosmetic. I think it's very important when you're working in this. And one thing that now also I learn when I judge, because in the beginning when I competing, I love the makeovers. They have a really hairy dog and make a really, really big change in the models. But when I'm a judge, I start to learn that when I judging, I want to see one regular change. We say that we don't want to see before the lines, and we want to see the finishing and the new lines in the dog. But it's not necessary you make a makeover every time, and you cannot value a one makeover. And explain to you. For example, Anna told that she thinking about the standard poodle. No, she prefer value a brave people that working a lot and hard, and they have no time to do it. No, and I understand how she tell. But it's true, when you judge, sometimes it's difficult. You say, okay, you don't finish your dog because you arrive with a really hairy dog, but in the finishing, you are not in the same level of the rest of the grooming. It's difficult, you value. For this one, I try to tell you, my advice is you respect the 10 weeks, 8 weeks of coat for competing in regular dogs. This is my advice, only that. When I judge, I do that.
Yes. I feel easy to comb for the competition, for all the judges, easy to comb is and the line very clear is very important. But for students, when they entering the competition, when they prepare their models, sometimes the coat not full enough, or the top hair is too long, so will open. So for students, it's very hard to say sorry for Bichon, especially for Bichon or for Poodle. So sometimes we use the cosmetics, but like a lie, cheer the judges. Easy to comb, but I use cosmetics. It's very important for students, because sometimes they can't do well without the cosmetics, because the hair can't stand up. So my favorite the mousse, the Artero's mousse. Yes, before the mousse, I like the spray, the red one, like this. I have this. Before the mousse. Yes, I use this one because it's very air spray. So after if you use not too much, it will easy to comb. This one. But later I prefer the mousse. Good. Yes, this one is perfect. My favorite. Yes, for students, because for us, we are groomers for a long time, several years. So even the coat too long open, we can do well. But for students, they can't. So before the competition, before the examination, I use this one to help students to do the work more well.
So, Pai, do you use this after the hairspray?
Yes.
What do you think, Luis?
No? Pardon?
No,
just sharing different uses.
This, I think she do an extra texturizer, and she, because you can use the mousse wet or dry, and I think she do for have a really sticky and really texture in the top knot, because the poodles and the if it is too long, it's open.
Long.
And I think every poodle groomer use a different ways to work in the top knot. I'm sure, but I understand how she tell. She doesn't want that hold too much the top knot, for when you comb the pins of the comb don't enter or you destroy the grooming. This is so bad for us as a groomers, as a judges when we are judging.
Okay, talking about volume as well, we have a question with the papillon. Who is more specialized with papillon? Maybe Anna?
Yes, I have some experience.
Okay.
I have in Russia. We have
Anna,
papillons.
So there's the question: what products to use is best for the papillon for the dog show?
For the dog show, okay, guys. For the dog show, also the same sickness, the same things about the water. You must know your water, because depends on the country, it can be a little bit different. So for me, I like to use vitalizing shampoo. Also, I like to use a protein as conditioner. And the same way, I like to use a little bit after you put the flesh. Okay, I don't have it close, but little bit you put the flesh, but try to not put it too much, because otherwise its coat can be look a little bit like oily. But if you use just a little, it will be perfect.
Okay, and what about for the dog show as well, the dry shampoo, the speed? What do you think?
The dry shampoo, speed you need. If just before 5 minutes before you go to the dog show ring, you can use the dry shampoo to little bit volume up legs. But in Russia, on the dog show, we doesn't need to get a super volume papillon. The coat must be well covered the dog. In this case, we doesn't need to up it too much. And also, as I said, we have a dry atmosphere. In this case, I prefer even to use a little bit more anti-static.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Okay, for Luis Martin del Rio, do you think that the Springer Spaniel is a good breed for competing in the Spaniel category, or would you rather a dog with more hair?
It depends where coming where from this answer, because this question, because it's not the same, the Springer Spaniel in the United States and in Europe. They are totally different breeds. I'm really lover of American Springer Spaniel, the English Springer Spaniel, but from America, because I love this type. It's really Spaniel for me, the type, and it is smaller, and they have a lot of coat, and the lines and the colors really clear between them. it's no with tops knots. No, it's really a big knots and really nice. And when you work in this kind of coat, it's really hard to work in the jacket, okay, the stripping technique. Remember that when you're working in Spaniels, the results don't need be as a stripping as a terrier. You only want to renovate the color and the texture, but not like a terriers. Always the Spaniels need have a silky coat, shine and really good pigmentation, but silky. You don't need a rough texture, okay? Not like a wires. For this one, you need renovate. And it's true that American Springer, it's really hard that you renovate the coat, but after the scissoring job, it's amazing. It's really nice to do because have a lot and it's really heavy and you can do all silhouette and all underlines really clear and really nice. And when the finishing, usually it's really special.
This question, Luis, came from Europe. So
okay.
You were asking.
We changed the answer.
Oh, she's asking about American.
No, there's in Europe, the Springer Spaniel, usually it's more close to the setters type. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit long, and the hairs is a little bit poor, not poor like that, but it's another texture, and no full of undercoat as the American, and it's a little bit curly. Okay, and when you working here in Europe, you work more as a setter. Okay, you try to work more like that. It's true that you can do a really nice job, but you need to find a really good model with a lot of coat in the skirt. Okay, it's really important because usually in Europe, dogs are more close to the hunter type. And the problem is the hair is not the same. It's not so heavy. It's not so good to have a long skirt. Okay, it's usually really good for stripping, and you will have a really nice jacket, probably, and really fast. But for the skirt and for the legs, don't look really nice. But it's a really interesting and fascinated breed to work. I recommend you because I see many American cocker and English cocker in the contest, but not many Springers, and it's really nice. The same that setters. I recommend you that you do setters. It's really funny to do.
Okay. This meeting is quite interesting because we are talking with you, Luis, from Spain, with Anna in Russia, and Singapore and Taiwan, with Pai and Kingsley. And what do you think about the static electricity that we have because each country or each areas we have a lot of problems with the static electricity. So which products do you use to avoid the static electricity? Anna,
yes,
I
can say, okay, in Russia we doesn't have ocean, we doesn't have sea, we even doesn't have too much river. In this case, we have a dry atmosphere. In this case, when it's winter and also we have a heat in our home, it's also static electricity. We had a lot. So in this case, if I work normally for every day, I use the anti-static. That one, anti-static.
Mm-hmm.
So if I work also at the dog show, if I would like to fix some coat, for example, and coat should be still flexible, it can be on the legs, like for Schnauzer, for example, like for poodles. Sometimes for young dogs, we need to little bit fix the coat. First, I will spray on water to give little bit more wet atmosphere for the coat, make it little bit wet. And after, I will use already the spray to fix the coat. In this case, you will feel like even if you brush the coat, it will be not too dry, because a hairspray always make the coat more dry. In this case, it will be more static. This is why I use little bit water, and then I use a spray. And for the coat, if it's poodle, and for the coat for the neck and top knot, for sure you need just to put enough fix on the basic level in coat, okay? On the first level, you need to put a lot. Then it will be good fix, like my hair, you can see. To use it, you need just to put it a lot, and it will be enough. It will be like a steel, okay?
What about in Singapore?
Yeah, static can be quite troublesome to deal with. I think it comes when you keep brushing the hair, or when you're drying the hair, static start to build up. So for myself, depend on what kind of coat I'm working at. If I want the coat to have a little bit more volume, and at the same time I want to remove the static, I will use the green color static spray that Anna showed earlier on, because not only it helps to remove the static, but that's the one. But at the same time, it gives the coat a little bit more volume, right? So if the hair can stand, it will be much easier for you to do your scissoring. Yeah, and the other conditioner I use is called the mixed conditioner. It's in liquid form. It's also in green color. Yeah, so if I want the coat to be more laid back against the back, not so fluffy and flying around, I would prefer to use the mixed conditioner. So that's my take on that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kingsley. Pai, do you have the same type of weather than Singapore?
Yes, almost the same. In Taiwan, sometimes I will dryer again before the dog show, and I will use the room first. For example, the hair and the feet, I will use the room first. Then if I show the bichon, I will spray the hair, and the static is very important. It's easy to scissoring, easy to spray, easy to even the movement when especially for American Coca or for the Maltese. If I show American Coca or Maltese, I use a lot static because when the dog's movement it will you can see the line, you can see the style more clearly after you use the static. And if I show the toy poodle, the hand and the neck I use more stronger. The black one spray is more stronger. But if I show the puppy, the puppy, the hair is not for so long, I will use the red one. I will use the red one. That's all.
Talk more about them because made it for Holland. Honestly,
Luis, go ahead.
I'm totally agree with all my partners. I think using conditioner, static, and also some we protect the hair to have to take a lot of electricity. And also I really in my grooming I use the ozoner dryer. There's one dryer that produce ozone and also ions. I don't know, is ions, Lulu?
Yes.
Okay, ions. And these ions, it's for control the electricity too. And the good thing when you use this blaster, it's that ozone, it's for disinfectate the behavior and also the skin of the dog. And the ions is the same, but also control the electricity in the behavior. And it's really, really good because your place sometimes is really dry, the same that that told Anna before. And when the place is really dry, it's really easy when you brushing, the hairs start to push up, no, and start to scruffies. And if you have your behavior with this drying, with these irons under control, you have better work during all the day. And also, if you have an extra, you can use all this. I use a lot this drying because for me it's fantastic for the disinfection and also for control the behavior of the electricity and the behavior. It is.
Okay, Luis, here there's another question about the schnauzer. When you were mentioning about the product, do you recommend for the dog show to have the dog clean or with a natural grooming?
But sorry?
I can imagine that they asked about if you recommend to have the dog with a lot of cosmetic and hairspray for the ring in the dog show, or just like natural?
Dog shows is different than the grooming contest. Before, when I told about that I prefer that you don't hold too much the grooming, it's because we need check and we can destroy your job, and we never want that. And sometimes I look the competitors really angry because a judge combine and destroy their jobs, and was because they use maybe too much cosmetic. But the dog shows, the judges don't comb your job. For this one, it's very important. Use it all cosmetics you want, but very important, don't test it with the hands, okay? When you do it, try to don't hold as a cement, as a really strong, for when they touching, don't feel like a plastic, okay? Feel like a natural, but whole. Always I try to explain to my students that I use a lot of cosmetic in my process during one grooming in one dog, but I use just the level in each cosmetic. I don't use a lot, okay? I use only the static. I use a little bit when combing, the hairspray a little bit, and after I brushing after the using. I use the thumb. I use a lot, but always in the perfect quantity, not too much, okay? And try to don't hold. And always we're thinking that cosmetic is a supporter for our grooming. Try to don't build your grooming with cosmetic. It's really typical. You have a lot of coat, you hairspray, and you try to build your leg with a cosmetic. It's your scissor, it's your comb, it's your knowledge and your job as a groomer that marking your lines and your grooming. And the cosmetic is only a support for hold during more time this leg, and for hold the hair more time for finishing your grooming, but not for building you. Okay? I don't know if my partners have the same idea, but
yeah. Okay. So
I can say because in Europe, where I'm from, let's say North country. Yeah, as you know, Luis, Finland, Sweden, sometimes France, sometimes Germany, you're not allowed to use a cosmetic at all. So in Finland, even if you put some bottle, even if it's water, some special guys will come to you, take your coat, check it. If it will have even sugar, you will lose your title. I'm sorry. Yeah. This is why in Finland everybody use it only like this.
Yeah. But this is the real thing.
In this case, it's we must use more our knowledge about the code. If it's schnauzer, then you build your legs not with blowing up or build it with cosmetic. You build it little bit also with stripping. This is why the preparing the dog for the dog show in some our countries. It starts from the puppy, and you build your shape only with grooming, nothing else. Maybe water. It's also important if you're traveling with your dog. If you would like to show your dog in some Europe countries, you must check this country. Are you allowed to use cosmetic or not? And it is really important that you must have experience with working without cosmetic at all. In this case, it will be really important which shampoo, in what time you use before you go to the dog show.
They are little maniac.
Okay, talking about all that as well, there is a quite interesting question. What do you guys use to disinfect all the equipment? Is the oil fresh helping for that? Okay, this helps, but not for the COVID. If this is the question. Okay, so watch out with that. So, what do you use to disinfect all the equipment, like the blades, scissors? Pai?
My favorite? Yes.
How do you?
Yes,
how
my
do you
favorite
clean
scissor.
and disinfect? No, how do you?
No,
你是用什么产品去帮那些工具消毒？
Oh, clean the scissors. Yes. This one. Yes, I have the oil, fresh oil. You see?
You have everything ready there, Pai.
You have all the stuff.
Yeah, it's good. And he have the air here, so like this. And my favorite scissor, this one. This one, my favorite scissor. Then, may I use it? May I use?
Oh yeah.
Yes, have oil and can clear. Yeah. So I open the scissor, then I push the oil for here. Then it can very clear. Yeah. Then use the paper to take dryer. Yeah,
Okay.
It's easy. It's easy and very clear, and also have oil. So it's good. It's good for me and easy for me. And pardon, the dog show. After dog show, because we have sprayed the hand and the neck. So after the dog show, before the shower, I always use the speed. This one, speed. I also use the speed for the spray, the hand and the neck before I shower. Yes, before I shower. So it's easy to show up the spray because yes, it's more clear. Yes, before shower, use this one and the comb.
Okay.
It's easy and every time when I use because it's mistakes for all my students. When I ask my students to use the static, the spray, everything, they always once use a lot. It's wrong. It's wrong. You must piece by piece.
You can use a lot. No,
it's wrong because
joking.
One piece and use a lot. It's wrong. You must spray a little, and comb, scissoring later, and once again, and comb and scissoring later, and spray again. But they always spray a lot, so it's too much. Yes, it's too much. It's too hard to comb, to scissoring. So the correct way is very important, and my students always do the mistakes. So I explain how to use.
Yeah, we don't need. You don't want to wet the dog, so you need to do that from the distance. And as well, there are some handlers that they use it in the air, and then they pass the comb. So what do you think about that? Yeah, sometimes there are some handlers that they use in the air, and then they pass through there the comb, the comb or the whatever. So then they say that it works.
Sophisticated.
More sophisticated. So each one is using the product in different ways. So, but the important thing is that if it helps, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think maintenance of the tools is very important to make sure all your tools work well. So for myself, besides using the oil fresh, I make sure sometimes the hair gets stuck in between the scissors, and you want to make sure you remove. If you feel that your scissors is not moving well, sometimes it's because the hair is stuck in between them. So you want to make sure you brush away the hair before you oil them. Same goes to the clipper as well. And I also use the Artero have this UV box, UV sterilizing box.
Mm-hmm. And with the blue light.
Yeah. I also put my equipment in there overnight to make sure they are properly sterilized before I use them for the next day. Even every after each grooming session, you want to make sure that your customer want to know that your tools are properly sterilized, right? So each grooming, make sure you put it into the sterilized box. You can put in sticker brush, blades, whatever you use, hemostats. Make sure it's sterilized before you use it on the next pet.
Yeah, that's very important. Very important. Yeah. And you need to show that to the client, as you say, because then they trust you and they see that you take care of that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, Anna, we have another question.
Especially during this COVID period, you want to make sure that your tools are properly sterilized as well.
For your safe and for your for the dog as well. So
yes, I only add about the ozone. That is really like a generator of ozone is really good for the behavior, and also the UV rays. I don't know how you call it. UV. And also it's good to use for the scissor or your tools. This is because it's very important now. Take care.
For sure. Okay, Anna, we have a question. I have a poodle and I go to confirmation shows.
I have my experience with the tools. I waited my time. So,
you want to ask another question
for everyday grooming. First of all, for me, it's the most important. You must take care about sterilizing the tools which can't touch skin. So it's not a scissors, guys. It's first of all, it's a brush, comb, and blade. In this case, we have sometimes 5 dogs per day, 10 dogs per day. We doesn't have enough time to clean our tools well. In this case, after each dog, for blade, first of all, I use the washing for the big bottle. If you give me a step, I can show you. So I put it in small box, and I put also my clipper, working clipper, inside to wash my blade after each dog. In this case, my blade will be clean, and next dog I will work with already clean blade. So it's really important to clean your blade after each one dog. Also, I like to use a lot of combs. In this case, while I do it one dog, the comb I used before, I put in sterilizing liquid to make it clean. So next dog, this comb will be already clean. For the scissors, I use only water and soap. No, just washing. You can even use the shampoo. Just washing, then I will just make it dry, and then put a little bit oil. If you use your scissors on a hairspray, you must clean your scissors after hairspray in few minutes. In this case, I prefer to use a wet towel for dogs. Just to clean my scissors, it's fast and it's easy. Okay, this is my way to take care about the tools in everyday grooming.
Good.
Very important. Thank you, Anna. Okay, so now another question for Anna will be the next one. Yeah. I have a poodle. I go to confirmation shows. When getting my dog ready for the show, do I have to bath him the day of the show or the day before will be enough?
Okay, for the poodle, first important thing, the quality of the coat. If we have the quality of the coat, it's wire coat. Some poodles in Europe have brilliant coats, so wire and so nice that you can wash your dog 2 days before the dog show, and on the dog show it will be look great. But some of the dogs have soft tie, and most of them it's young poodles, or it can be poodle with white color, red color, apricot color, and some of the silver color have really soft and tight coat. In this case, it's better to wash your dog before the ring, as much as possible, more close. Secondary, for me, it's important temperament. So some dogs need to be washed 1 day before. For example, in the evening, they need to sleep well to be more expressive in the ring. Because if they don't rest enough, they will be really sad in the ring because they want to go sleep. They're standing on the table a few hours before they go to ring and they feel badly. So for some dogs, which were not so crazy dogs, they need to be relaxed and sleep well before they go to the show ring. For some dogs, I have some dogs absolutely crazy. Just I'm sorry, can I say this? Crazy dogs. For those of them, I prefer to wash my dog just before I put all the things in the car and go to the show ring. So I wake up at least at 3 o'clock at the night and start to work with this dog. Wash, scissoring, then you go to your box and we go to the dog show. In this case, he will be a little bit tired and he will be absolutely stability in the ring. So temperament for me, it's also really important. Okay?
Thank you, Anna. Perfect.
Yeah, agree. I feel every time when I bring my dog for dog show, I will always scissoring before 1 week, because dog happy in the ring is very important. So I won't scissoring spend too much time before the dog show. They will very boring, because if he stay in the table for a long time, so I always scissoring or tripping everything prepare 1 week ago. Then before the dog show, I will just take shower and just spray and let dogs enjoy the dog show. So it will be better, got the better rewards.
That's good.
Most of you are teachers, so for students, what grooming technique would you recommend to learn first? Scissoring, stripping? What advice can you give to the beginners? What do you think?
Students always stripping, scissoring for a long time, so the dogs were very boring in the table. So if the young
老师他是问，那个学生要学那个scissoring 还是学 stripping 先比较好？要先学拔毛还是先学那个剪毛？
It's decide where you are. If you in Europe, you must study stripping first. But if you in Asia, you prepare scissoring first. It's up where you are.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys?
Because in Europe, the stripping is more stronger. So you start stripping is better. But in Asian, scissoring is stronger. So you learn the scissoring first is better.
Okay. The same in Singapore?
In Asia, most of our breeds are scissoring breeds. So I would say that to learn scissoring first probably is more important, because it will help you in your job to be able to take care of your customers' dogs. And maybe sometime later, if you want to learn stripping, you can do that as well.
What about in Europe, Luis and Anna?
Oh, sure. Okay, in my school, I suppose in Europe also we have, even in pet shops, sometimes we work with the hand stripping. But from my experience, scissoring technique, it's a little bit more difficult to learn than if we compare it with the hand stripping technique. Okay, with the hand stripping technique, I need to less time to learn. And with the scissoring technique, we have a special system. We have 16 exercises with 3 levels, and my students from the first day of the school, they start to learn scissoring technique. Okay, and it's really, really important. Maybe only in 3 months, they make a right thing with the scissors. So for me, it's really important to give enough attention for scissoring technique, because even in Europe, we use a lot of scissors. And as you know, as I suppose Luis know also, if we talk about pet shop, normally it's no stripping. Why you need to make a stripping? It's not for the dog show. Please scissoring and take out all the coat with a clipper. So also, even if you work in hand stripping breeds, you need to be good scissoring. You need to have a good scissoring, okay, technique. So in my case, I prefer to start to learn technique, stripping and scissoring in one time, but scissoring technique takes a little bit more longer way to learn well, okay?
Nice.
Thank you. Luis, do you think the same? You are the stripping guy.
Really, I need to tell you that during the last years, I'm totally focused in teach stripping. And of course, for me, it's bicycle. But one thing is, my students usually come in to me to do a special seminars, to improve in this technique, no like a beginners. These three great groomers are teachers for a lot of beginners, and she produce and teach and preparing a lot of new groomers, and they know better than me how they need to do with the beginners, right? It's true that I think the most important is you control all techniques in the future, and of course it's true that if in your market you have not clients in a stripping technique, you don't need learn this technique. But also I need to tell you one thing: sometimes you don't have clients with this in this technique because you don't control this technique. Because here in Spain, many years ago, also the terriers and the schnauzers, everybody clipping there, and with the years, people start to learn about the stripping, and each time people using more the stripping technique, and the customer asking more for the stripping. And I think any regular grooming salon here in Spain have a lot of strippings, and improve a lot in the last 10 years. And this is also because the knowledge and the customers start to grow in the balance too. Only I want to say that. But fine.
Yeah, I totally agree with Luis. Sometimes we need to educate the customers how the dog is supposed to be groomed. And once they know it, they will prefer to, if it's a hand stripping breed, they will prefer to do hand stripping for their dogs. I agree with what Luis had mentioned earlier on.
Is there saying that the Asian fusion, for example, here in Europe, now the customer asking you for Asian fusion, but 5 years ago, nobody knows about the Asian fusion here in Spain. And when you offer a new service for the customers, they come to you. Have another option. And I think we as a teachers need to offer always only that.
Yeah, so that's one of the way to improve your business as well, to have more varieties of services to help you with your own grooming salons. Yep. Yes.
Okay, another question for dog shows. How important is the perfect haircut on a shock dog? Doesn't the judge look at the structure of the dog and not the haircut? What do you think?
Of course.
Important the structure or the haircut? What do you think?
No. Of course, when a good judge need judging the conformation of the dogs, the movement, and all qualities. And the coat is only a cover, but it's not the only. It's really important. When you are judged, you need working under the code. But it's true, without a good grooming, the dog don't shine and don't look the same. This is my opinion about, no? And of course, a good groomer and a bad judge can arrive to this. Many people, I want to explain that. Many people here in Europe talk about the American or Asian dog shows about all is grooming. And it's like when I listen to that, it's like what happened with that? This is bad. When a good dog have a top grooming, this is good. The problem is one judge only looking the grooming and know the structure and the conformation. But if you have all package, a top dog, a good handling, and a top grooming, you have the best, right? If you have a top dog with an ugly grooming, it's like you are a top model, but you are dirty. No, it's I don't know. It's something like that, right? Sorry, and Anna and Pai. And
yes, okay, I can say. You know, for me, of course, it's important. I work with a lot with the show dogs. So for me, the coat is really important, but it's take only probably from 100, it take for me only 10 points. But we must understand that final decision make the judge, you know? So it depends on the judge. All-round judge will put this dog on the Western show, and the breed judge will give only excellent with a placement. I'm sorry, because he thinks that the dog have not enough body, doesn't matter the coat. So, but for me, it's important. What about grooming and what about the presentation? So presentation and grooming can rise your dog one step higher. From the good dog, you can get excellent dog with the grooming. From the excellent dog, you can get really best in show dog. From the best in show dog, you can get a legend with a really good grooming. But it's work only one step higher. But easily with ugly grooming, from the legend dog, you can get just very good dog. So the bad grooming work all steps down. I'm sorry. In this case, sometimes we can see if it's bad grooming, bad handling, you can destroy even just brilliant dog. You can destroy totally. So for me, it's important. You must know the judge who will look at your dog, and you must present the dog with this feeling. You know who is a judge. And secondary, it depends on the country, because some country is the judges prefer more natural way looking, okay? And you must, for sure, you must do all you can to make as much as possible more higher placement for your dog. If you are a good groomer, this is my way. Because, okay, I not talk about breeding. Okay, it's already not my space. But as a good groomer, I will give all I can exactly for this dog to make him higher, to get the maximum title. Because in Europe, I'm sorry, it's not like in Asia a little bit. In Europe, just simple honor called the show dogs, you know? Sometimes in my shop, bring some just really not nice dog, and they ask me, please, this is our money, we want to make him as a champion. Okay, so I said like, okay, I will try my best, and we start to work with that. And it's possible if you use the right strategy, if you use the right steps, like let's say like that. Okay, this is why in Europe we have pet dogs sometimes on the show ring. And some of them title because of us. Good grooming, good handling, and understanding the judge and prefer. Thanks.
Thank you, Anna. Okay.
For me, what do you want? What do you want in the dog show, fashion show, right? the top one. And how to win in the dog show. Good dog, good handling, good trimming, and one happy dog in the ring, and you can win the dog show. You can win the besting show. So you must strong your skills. I told my students, you must strong your skills. You must have a good dog, or you must your groomer skills, or handling, or trimming. Every point, what you need, what you must stronger, then you can win. You can win the besting show. It's very easy, and you can study. You can study in the no. I don't mean you win the besting show is easy. No, it's very difficult. But it's easy reason. It's easy reason why you entering the dog show. You want to win, and you can strong your skills to, because you want, so you will strong your skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Luis, you're agree, right?
Yes, it's the reason. No.
I think it's a total package. I mean, it's like if a contestant go for a Miss Universe pageant, you don't ask them not to wear makeup. I mean, it's part of the total package. So for dog show, I mean, grooming is part of the package as well. And especially for poodles, if you don't do the top knot for them, they look really ugly, and it looks like they have no neck, and it doesn't bring out the beauty from that's truly in them. So grooming will bring up the true beauty in the animal. So I think it's very important that they are properly groomed during the dog show.
Okay. Yeah, and only in another way, I need to tell that it's true that the only moment that I'm a little bit angry when I listen some comments about this, about this dog have a lot of grooming, it's only grooming, or this handling, I think in the conformation world, in the dog shows world, each time the handlers, the groomers, the breeders working and improving more, and I think judges need to teach more about learn more. Need to learn more and practice more, because sometimes it's like they are judged and never progress. They are stay down and don't improve in that. And the world change, and you need change too. And the groomers and the breeders always try to improve and movement and looking and travel around the world. And sometimes judges are really static in their place. And I think it's very important that all associations and the judges working to improve and to adapt into the actual world.
I believe, Luis, we can say the same thing about competitions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course, of course, and it's all when you have one organization and you need to qualify anything, you are the top. You are the judge is the top, and you need to be and really take knowledge and educated and training, because you marking the line for the future, and it's very important. And it's really hard when I see very amazing groomers, a lot of amazing handlers, and when I see how the judges working, it's like we need to work all together, working in the grooming, working in the handling, working in the breeding, and also the judges need to learn more and study more. It's our responsibility as a judge, always try to work. Another thing is your preference as a judge. Of course, you have the preference, but try to always working for improvement.
Thank you, Luis. Let me remember one moment that in 3 hours and a half or something like that, so it will be 5 p.m. here in or 11 o'clock in US, we'll have another connection with 4 more members of the Artero World team. We'll have then Lindsay Deacon from Florida, USA. We'll have Alison Rogers from UK, Corina from Belgium, and Victor Rosado from Puerto Rico doing another meeting with the same thing, the same idea. So I invite you to join us in 3 hours and a half, more or less. Okay, so let's, Alex Sullivan, can you put now the video? 1 second, please. It's Alex there. And, sorry, Fan as well. Fan you will be there as well. So we'll have five members of the Artero World team. So it will be amazing. I don't know if we have ready the video. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. We'll just to remember you that we'll have another connection in 3 hours and a half. And that's the last question because we need to go lunch or dinner there. So the last question, breakfast for you. So lunch for us and dinner for you, right?
Dinner for us in Asia.
Yes, dinner for us.
So the last question is, what is the difference between the keratin and the protein treatment, and in which type of coats are the best to use each one? What do you think, guys? And will be the last thing.
Anna?
Yes, you. If we compare keratin and protein,
the difference between protein and keratin.
How do you use the difference between the keratin and protein in different breeds or cases?
Okay, I try a different way to use both of those products. Okay, so for me, the protein, if we say I work mostly with a poodle coat, let's say like this, it can be also same breed, little bit close breed like a Bichon Frise also as well. For the soft coats and fluffy coat like a poodles, I prefer to use the protein for everyday care. Okay. And a little bit more closer to keratin for preparing the dog for the grooming, okay? If I want to get more nicely shaped. But for everyday care, I recommend to use more protein. And also I use a protein for the mat dog, okay?
Thank you, Anna.
Okay.
Kimsey?
Okay, so basically, I think the keratin is more for repairing damaged hair. And also, if the dog have very long and silky coat, I think keratin will work really good with it. And if it's a Bichon or poodle, I would recommend you to use the protein instead. So keratin itself, not only it helps to make the coat more straight and silky and more manageable, but it also gives the hair that extra strength and elasticity. And on top of that, it also gives a layer of protection for the coat. So if there's a lot of brushing, a lot of chemical product that's left on the coat, it damages the coat. So keratin will actually help to repair the damages. As the protein, they have, I think what they have is, they call it the provitamin B5, and it helps to maintain healthy shine. And at the same time, it adds elasticity to the coat as well. So for protein, I'll recommend more for Bichons and poodles and even Schnauzers, but the keratin maybe for breeds like Shih Tzus and Yorkshires. And on top of that, keratin also helps to repair coat damages. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kivni. Okay, so remember that in 3 hours and 15 minutes, we'll be here again with Lindsay Deacon, with Alison Rogers, with Corina, with Victor, and Fanyu. So hope you can join us again. And thank you very much, Luis, Lulu, Anna, Kingsley, and Pai for your time and for all your answers. See you soon, guys.
Thank you for having us. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a lot of fun on your quarantine days.
So
Bye, guys.